Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to us today. I know you can be doing anything else, but you're watching The Edge. We definitely appreciate it. You can also find us on podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. We appreciate that as well. Lots of fantastic talk show hosts on that program. So I'm really so proud to be part of the podcast. Again, thank you for letting that happen, Murray. Appreciate it. Okay, so I have emails. By the way, if you'd like to send an email, if you have any suggestions or anything you would like for me to cover, you can send an email to Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. So I was sent a few requests to talk about arthritis. And I don't know, it gets different. I guess it hurts more when the change of seasons happen. I know here in Alabama, we've had a lot of cold weather. And then it's kind of turning warm again, which is my kind of weather, by the way. Love it when it's nice and warm. But arthritis is an inflammation. And so I wanted to mention Rita. Thank you for sending this website. I think it's a great one. Healthline.com. Healthline.com. So arthritis is an inflammation of the joints that may affect one joint or multiple joints. I'm noticing a little difference right here. The knuckles are just a little bit swollen, and they don't go all the way down like the fingers here do. So see, they don't go all the way down. So the symptoms of arthritis usually develop over time, but they may also appear suddenly. So more than 100 different types of arthritis, I didn't know that, with different causes and treatment methods. So osteoarthritis is the most common type of arthritis in the United States. Also rheumatoid arthritis. I have a uncle who had that, and he wound up in a wheelchair. And also gout is a form of arthritis. The typical age for developing rheumatoid arthritis, which is also known as RA, is between 30 and 50. It can, however, affect children, teens, and younger adults. Now, osteoarthritis, which is OA, commonly develops after the age of 50 or 60 years, but there are studies that reveal radiographic evidence in OA occurring in women in their 40s. It also tends to be more prevalent in individuals who are overweight. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. What are the symptoms of arthritis? Well, you get joint pain, stiffness, swelling. Those are the most common symptoms of arthritis. Now, your symptoms may also feel worse in the morning when you get out of bed or upon standing up after you've been resting. Now, other symptoms of osteoarthritis include limited range of motion that sometimes goes away after movement, clicking or popping with bending, muscle weakness around the joint, instability or buckling of the joint, bony growths in the fingers, grating or scraping feeling in the knees. Now, other symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis include morning sickness that can last 30 minutes or more, more than one affected joint, onset in smaller joints like the feet or the hands. Same joints on both sides of the body are affected. Fatigue, low-grade fever could also mean inflammation of the eyes and the mouth, inflammation of the heart muscle and blood vessels, low red blood cell count. So let's talk about what causes arthritis. And this makes a lot of sense. I've noticed a lot of people when they've been working, say, like at a sewing plant. I know a lot of people, a lot of women who have worked in a sewing plant through the years and years and years, get what they call the carpal tunnel syndrome. And they wind up having to have surgery done in their wrist and that kind of thing. But it's when you're doing the same motion over and over again, which fits us into this wear and tear of a joint from overuse. Age, now OA is most common in adults over age 50. We talked about that a few minutes ago. Injuries. I know Phil has problems with one of his knees. It's an old football injury from when he was playing football and he was a teenager. And so he still sometimes, when he bends it, his knee kind of locks. So we're going to talk about that. Obesity can be an issue with arthritis. autoimmune disorders, genes or family history, and muscle weakness. That's why I drink a lot of tea, which is actually made right here. This is tea. And this is made from blueberries. It smells really good too, by the way. If you like the scent of blueberries, you can find this on Amazon. I've got the link down there. They've got it on sale, by the way, for $14.97, regular $30. So that's a good deal. And so I drink this all through the day. And I'm just noticing, I mean, I like to use all natural approaches to every single thing I do. I don't take medicines. And so anyway, I'll let you know how that turns out. Been doing this for a few days. The joints right here in my knuckles on this hand right here don't feel as stiff. So I'll keep you monitored on what that's like. Now, osteoarthritis, let's find out what that is. Okay, normal wear and tear causes osteoarthritis. It's one of the most common forms of arthritis. An infection or injury to the joint can make this natural breakdown of cartilage tissue. The cartilage is a firm but flexible connective tissue in your joints. It protects the joints by absorbing the pressures, like when you fall down, or if you ever fallen on your elbow right here, you'll fall down on it. Well, that cartilage helps you to not have the ground shock, in other words. And when you move and put stress on them. Now, reduction in the normal amount of this cartilage tissue causes some forms of arthritis. It just kind of wears away. It wears down. So your risk of developing OA may also be higher if you have a family history of the disease. Now, let's talk for a few minutes about rheumatoid arthritis. Now, another common form of arthritis that's called RA, abbreviated, is an autoimmune disorder. It occurs when your body's immune system attacks the tissues of the body, resulting in inflammation to joints as well as other body organs. Now, in the joints, this inflammatory response affects the synovium. That's a soft tissue in your joints that produces a fluid that nourishes the cartilage and lubricates the joints. Think of this, you have a sewing machine. Sometimes you have to put oil on it to lubricate it. That's kind of our machine oil. Eventually destroys both bone and cartilage inside the joint. Now, the exact cause of the immune system's attacks is unknown at this point, but scientists have discovered genetic markers that increase your risk of developing RA fivefold. Now, how is arthritis diagnosed? Okay, so seeing your primary care physician is a good first step if you're unsure, just for an arthritis diagnosis. They will perform a physical exam to check for fluid around the joints, warm or red joints, and document the range of motion in the joints. Now, your doctor can also refer you to a specialist if that's what's needed. If you're experiencing severe symptoms, you may choose to schedule an appointment with a specialist. This may lead to faster diagnosis and treatment, although sometimes you have to meet with your primary care before the specialist will see you. Documenting inflammation levels in your blood and analyzing joint fluids is what they will do. They'll diagnose that. If present, can help your doctor determine what kinds of arthritis you have. Now, blood tests that check for specific types of antibodies like anti-cyclic, is a peptide, CCP, rheumatoid factor, the RF, and anti-nuclear antibody, that's the ANA, are also common diagnostic tests. Now, doctors commonly use imaging scans such as X-rays, MRI, and CT scans also to produce an image of your bones and cartilage. This helps them rule out other causes of your symptoms, which it could be bone spurs. Okay, now, how is arthritis treated? Now, the main goal of treatment is to reduce the amount of pain you're experiencing and provide additional damage to the joints. Also, if you have a friend, you have a spouse who has arthritis, this is good information right here. This will help you also to help your partner, okay? You'll learn what works best for you in terms of managing pain. In general, treatment for arthritis involves a combination of medications and supplements, physical therapy, and it would start out something really slow. A lot of folks say, I'm doing these little stretching exercises. I don't say it's doing really. I'm going to tell you what, stretching exercises are good. And within a couple of days, you're going to find out you had muscles you didn't know you had, you forgot about. But that can be really good, just stretching exercises. Another treatment would be occupational therapy, nutrient-rich diet. And I mentioned this on a previous show, and I drink this all the time. It's the blueberry, and it's a tea that I make. And I'll show you. Don't mind putting fingers in my own cup just so you can see the leaves. Now, these are fresh leaves right here. So I went on ahead and took these. Now, when you're making a tea like this, what you want to do is cut that. And what that does, just kind of rip it. You don't have to have scissors or knife or anything. And just rip those leaves. And what that does is lets out some of those nutrients as well. And if there are any oils, it'll really leak those oils out. But what I like to do, two different ways, I mentioned this before, but if you put your water for the tea in a microwave, it's not going to stay hot as long as if you do it on top of the stove. So if you're going ahead and just get some water, put it on the stove, and then pour your tea or pour your water on your tea bags or whatever. So I've got tea bags right here as well. And I just keep this, I keep water in it all day long, and I'm just constantly drinking out of this. And it's also been found that actually the leaves on blackberries are actually, and I know the berries are awesome and they're really good for you, but actually the leaves have more nourishment in them than the berries do. Now you can also, this is tea right here. It's dried, and you can get this right here on Amazon. Again, I mentioned it earlier in the show. For extra flavor, you can have just the leaves to make tea out of. But for extra flavor, you can also have dried blueberries in there. You can see some of the blue ones in there. So this is just a good thing right here. I think it's also good for arthritis. Okay, and that's your nutrient-rich diet. Regular exercise, and also if you need to lose weight, do it. It's worth it in the long run. Heat and cold compresses. Mobility assistant devices such as canes or walkers. Improving your joint function is also important. Now, your doctor may prescribe a combination of treatment methods to achieve the best results. Now, we're going to talk about medication, supplements, surgery, and physical therapy when we get back. So let's go to a commercial break. We'll be right back shortly.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on ISU Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. Check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. We're always so glad to be with you today. Thank you so much for the emails, by the way. And you can also send an email to Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. If you have segments you would like for me to maybe just explain a few things, do some research on, I'm your research gal, okay? I'd be glad to do that for you. So several people actually wanted to know about arthritis and, what can I do? Are there any natural supplements or anything I can use? Let's talk about what a doctor may prescribe for you first. Okay, medications, a number of different types of medications treat arthritis. Analgesics such as hydrocortisone, Tylenol, that kind of thing, are effective for pain management, but do not help decrease inflammation. So the key is decreasing the inflammation, and that's what your tea is all about. Your blueberry and blackberries. Blackberries are overlooked in a lot of cases. I think that probably the marketing is not out on them like they are for blueberries, but blackberries are good for you too. Now, I raise blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, any kind of berry, I'm going to raise it. And so Phil and I have juice every morning, and so I put up just hundreds of quarts of just plain old juice, grape juice, all of those things. And they're good for you. They're good for your immune system. And the tea. Okay, now ibuprofen, with Advil, that kind of thing, helps manage pain and inflammation. Now, the salicylates can thin the blood, but they should not be used with additional blood thinning medications. You got to be careful there. Now, menthol, there are creams with menthol in them, and they block the transmission of pain signals from your joints. Steroids, which is something I'm allergic to, by the way, help reduce inflammation, but should be used cautiously and for brief periods of time. You don't want to use the rest of your life. Okay, immune suppressants and biologics. Now, these are prescribed for moderate to severe inflammatory arthritis like RA. Now, if you have RA, your doctor may recommend corticosteroids or disease-modifying drugs. These are DMA, RDS, which suppress your immune system. Now, the DMA, RDS and biologics are being prescribed earlier in the course of RA. And also the methotrexate is now a first-line drug for treatment. There are also many medications to treat OA available over the counter or by prescription. Okay, so let's talk for a few minutes about supplements, okay? Let's go ahead and pull that up. Supplements, while clinical evidence and safety data are lacking for many herbs, I got to tell you, they're just not, they're not out there, they're really not being promoted like I think they should be. So while the clinical evidence and safety data are lacking for many herbs and supplements marketed by arthritis, there are a few supplements that may be beneficial. For example, avocado and soybean, which is ASU, may help OA symptoms. Fish oil, turmeric, by the way, I take turmeric every day also. These supplements may help reduce inflammation in RA. However, you should talk with your doctor before taking any supplements for arthritis to make sure they're safe for you and will not interact with any medications that you are currently taking. So you've got to be careful of that. Check with the doctor first. Okay, surgery. The surgery to replace your joint, this is just a possibility for you right here. So surgery to replace your joint with an artificial one may be an option. This form of surgery is most commonly performed to replace hips and knees. If your arthritis is most severe in your fingers or wrists, your doctor may perform joint fusion. In this procedure, the ends of your bones are fused, eliminating the joint and therefore eliminating the site of inflammation. Now, physical therapy. I know physical therapy is really good. Phil fell down one time and broke his back. And I'll tell you what, he had the best physical therapist ever. They were in Charlotte, North Carolina. They were great. Physical therapy involving exercises that help strengthen the muscles around the affected joint is a core component of arthritis treatment. Outside of your appointments, your physical therapist will likely recommend a plan of care that includes daily movement along with exercises you can complete on your own at home. Collectively, these can help you build strength, flexibility, and balance to improve mobility, also while preventing falls. I'll tell you a really good one is a ball. If you get a ball, one of those really hard ones, they call them, I think back in the day they used to call them, I don't know, pressure balls or something, stress balls. I think that may have been one name for them. If you can find those, and you can find them all over the place, a lot of times the company just gives them away, like if they're having an event somewhere, and they'll have them just to give away. And you just get the stress ball and just keep it with your hands and just press it on and on and on again. Also, there are, I don't know what you call them, but a lot of folks use them in exercise. It's almost like a pair of scissors, but there's this big bolt thing on top of it, and you can squeeze those. And it takes a whole lot of pressure to squeeze those. You may want to start out really slow. Don't do like I do and just do something, just go all at it and do 100 of them. You don't need to do that. Start out small. I've been known to do that. Start out small and then just keep going, and then just keep on until you get it all together. Okay, now there are some lifestyle changes that can help people with arthritis. So losing any excess weight will help, and maintaining a moderate weight reduces the risk of developing OA and can reduce symptoms if you already have the condition. Eating a nutrient-based dense diet is important for weight loss. Choosing a diet with lots of antioxidants such as fresh fruit, vegetables, and herbs can help reduce inflammation. Other inflammation-reducing foods include fish and nuts. I have a friend who has arthritis, lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she eats fish at least 3 times a week. And she said, I can tell the days I don't eat fish. She said, I just don't want to drive my husband crazy fixing fish for every single meal. But she said, like those canned salmons, she likes those. And they're really good. Now, she likes you can get them water-based in the can, but she likes the one that has a little oil in them. And she said that she has, if you get the kind that's water-based, she has put a little olive oil in it. So olive oil is also good for it as well. The foods that should be limited or avoided if you have arthritis include fried foods, processed foods, dairy products, and a high intake of meat. Also, some research also suggests that gluten antibodies may be present in people with RA. So a gluten-free diet may improve symptoms and disease progression. A 2015 study also recommends a gluten-free diet for all people who receive a diagnosis of connective tissue disease. And the regular exercise can help keep your joints flexible. Riding a bicycle is really good. Swimming is also a good form of exercise for people with arthritis because it does not put pressure on the joints the way running and walking do. So staying active is important, but listening to your body when it's telling you resting and avoiding overexerting yourself are just as essential. Now, at home exercise you can try at home could be the head tilt, the neck rotation, and other exercises to relieve pain in the neck, finger bends, and thumb bends to end pain in your hands, leg raises, hamstring stretches, and other easy exercises if you have arthritis in your knees. Now let's talk, we got time, let's talk for a few minutes about complications. When left untreated, symptoms of arthritis may worsen and affect your day-to-day life. So let's talk about some of these things that could be associated with the condition. So reduced mobility. As arthritis progresses, you may experience less comfortable movement. This can interfere with your daily routine. It may keep you from your favorite activities, as well as socializing. Possible weight gain. This is attributed to decreased movements as well as discomfort that keeps you from exercising. Increased risk of metabolic disorders. Now, being overweight with an inflammatory condition like arthritis may increase your chances of developing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart disease. Now, inflammation of other areas of the body, like your arthritis is attributed to autoimmune disease, like with RA, the inflammation can spread and affect your skin, your eyes, your blood vessels, and your lungs. I didn't know that. Risk of falls. According to the Arthritis Foundation, people with OA are more likely to experience falls and possibly fractures. This is primarily caused by related muscle weakness, but dizziness from pain medications can also lead to falls. Decreased ability to work. Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, estimates about 60% of people with arthritis are working age. So arthritis may affect your ability to move around in the workplace or even get from your mode of transportation to your job site. And then also the effects of mental health. Arthritis may increase the risk of anxiety and depression due to ongoing pain, inflammation, and social isolation. So thank you so much for watching, and also thank you for sending the emails. I appreciate that as well. If you have other subjects you would like for me to take care of and websites you would like for me to look at, I'll be glad to do that for you. You can send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. That's donna@donnasedge.com. Again, thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio. Make sure you check us out on the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. You take care, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again with a really, really super good show.